Ellen, welcome to Conversations with Tee. We've got Councillor Jennifer Rice here tonight, and she joins us to tell us how things are going at City Council. Welcome, Councillor Rice. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday evening on Conversations tonight.
Thank you, Tee, and I am very honored and to have this conversation with Ladies Corner and Media Foundation. And so I'm Jennifer Rice, City Councillor for Ward EPCOCA EPOC. I know it's the longest word name and cross city. And so
very complicated.
That's right.
Ma'am, when you look back the last 100 days, what have been the highlights of your time at City Council?
The time flies, and since October 26, 2021, we swear in and formally and to the council. I think right now is almost over 100 days now. And due to this 100 days, I think I stick and to my two principles. And then the first one is what's promised and to my words, to my constituents, and also to ensure their voice to be heard. So if you look at back for the 100 days, the highlights, if we call that achievement, we use that words for the achievement, I think there are a few things I would like to share with everybody here. The first one, and then I think there are two levels. One is a word specific, and one is citywide. And so let me start here with citywide. So citywide, I think there's three, and of course more. And so I will just give some of the key highlights here. And the first one, and from my achievements, if we use that word, I would like to say, so I worked very hard to lower Edmontonians' tax rate. And then this tax rate, and in any major city across Canada, I believe our Edmontonians will pay the less tax than many major city and across Canada. For 2022, and 1.9% tax rate that is applied and across to our city. It took lots of hard work to convince our council to achieve this goal and to lower our Edmontonians' tax rate. The second one is I believe like I worked very hard and to keep our police funded at the time when our city's crime rates are on the rise. And also consider achievements also council did for this approach, and specifically how to ensure our city's safety. That is very important, and for our city's economic growth and recovery, and also very important for our entire Edmontonians and all Edmontonians. And then the third one I think is related to the second one, is about how to help address our city's safety and security concerns. And then specifically and in downtown core and from 124th Street area and to the Chinatown. This is so important to ensure our city to get into new business and attract new investment to our city, and then ensure our economic development and grow and recover. So that is citywide achievements. If we talk about some more specifics, there are so many things I could mention, for example, and community engagement. And since in the past 100 days, and we have so many community engagement events going on. And then so before Christmas, and my office staff and myself, and we visit senior center, and then to wish them Christmas, Merry Christmas, and then we publish the newsletters, and also for the culture celebration and town hall and the youth leadership engagements and the revisit neighborhoods. And there are many many support activities to the community league and also the events. And so I think the most important sense is to ensure our constituents' voice be heard at City Hall. This including lots of emails communication, lots of phone calls communication, and also in terms like infrastructure improvement. And their new project will be going on start 2022, and will create like almost like over 3,000 jobs for the city. And then so lots of improvement and will be benefit and for our seniors and for our students and for our neighborhoods and across my ward as well.
Councillor Rice, you've been very busy. I'm exhausted.
That's right. Too much. I know there are still other many achievements I could.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, this is what you do, and I just wonder: is the job what you expected it to be? Do you get time to maybe go to the theater or the cinema or to just watch Netflix anymore, Councillor?
So this job, yes, this job actually keep me very excited.
All right.
And then keeping me very excited, and then I found it's really meaningful job. Okay. And so because through the job you have so many opportunities to ensure and then our Edmontonians' voice to be heard, and also you have opportunity to interact with so many individuals and then to understand what's their concerns, what's their needs, and you get an opportunity to provide the opportunity for them to speak out as well. And so I think for me, I really enjoy it.
Okay. Would you say there were any challenges that you faced in starting the job? Are you able to get on top of the letters you need to write, the phone calls you need to make back, and so on and so forth?
I think the biggest challenge is I wish I could have 48 hours per day, not 24 hours. Even though and then the schedule, yes, is extremely busy, but I'm still willing to take my time to make phone calls and to my constituents and to respond to their emails. I can proudly share with everybody, and then myself and including my office, we work very hard to respond to each single emails we received. And then I personally get a phone call back and to each constituent and phone to my office. So even though that is why, and then even though my schedule is very busy, and then because there are many meetings, but I still thinking it's so important and to have this communication and through emails and phone calls.
Councillor Rice, community engagement is a priority for you, as is for me this next question, and it's a bit of some sort of gossip, but I've got you here. I've just got to get it off my chest. You talked about police funding the other time, and you mentioned crime rates and all that. Does the police keep a list of the people who criticize them anywhere? Is that something you've heard? Is that something they've showed you? I don't know. What have you heard?
Is your questions about my priority for 2022, or can you repeat one more time your questions?
Okay, so this question is not on the agreed list. This is just some gossip I wanted to have about the police. Maybe you've heard anything about the Edmonton police keeping a list of people who criticize them on Twitter and all that. But if we can just go back to the questions, and I'll jump onto the anti-racism strategy. I'm moving on to that because we're running out of time, Councillor. The anti-racism strategy, is implemented on a budget of 2 million. Is that enough money, or would you consider it a waste of public money?
So racism and then is a real issue that deserves a solution. And then also, I believe racism has no place in our city, and so I strongly stand for that.
Right.
So this 2 million budget city council approved and specifically uses to build this strategy and calculate the resources needed and to execute this strategy. So I support the effort, and then we'll expect to report including performance metrics and have many checks and balances in place and come back. So I just want to ensure that every dollar we spend on this serious issue moves us closer to the resolving this issue.
Okay. You're passionate about the city transit service and city safety. Do 2 million people actually take mass transit in Edmonton?
I believe we have, like, when COVID-19 is over and our ridership and for the public transit will be increased, and because people need to go back to the office and our students and go back to school, and then they choose to take public transit. So public transit is so important, and then we cannot ignore this issue. And specifically, and then I'm stronger belief that like say public transit actually is a key factor and for our economic investment into the city, and to ensure we have that safe city and in place, and to attract new business and new investment and to our city as well.
So what is the city doing to get more people to jump on transit? It's a winter city, and after time, our roads are clogged with snow. We just had a downpour yesterday and today, but I have to commend the plowing of the snow got done. I have to commend your council for getting on top of the snow this time around. So should we, in light of all that, get more people to ride on the city's transport service?
I think that ensure public transit is a key factor. That is a fundamental key factor, and otherwise we will lose the riders, and then with the concern to take public transit. And so, as you probably are aware of, and our city, and last week we just passed the public transit plan.
Yes.
So that is a very comprehensive plan, and that is the first time for our city to use a model and like the three parts agreement and working together, including police services and peace officers, and then also and including some like social services provider, and also community partners. We have three parts work together and to ensure our public transit and really resolve that safety concern and our Edmontonians have. So that is the fundamental initiative right now, and the city is implement and to make sure and our riders and who use our public transit to feel comfortable, to feel safe.
Last week, the Premier released his budget. Are you happy with the provincial budget for Edmonton?
Premier released a financial budget for provincial, and so are you asking, what's your question? I'm not very clear.
Are you happy with that budget that the Premier released?
I don't think it's my position to say I'm happy or not happy, because that's his provincial's budget. And that is not city's budget, is provincial budget. But from budget perspective, and even from collaboration perspective, I understand I understand, and then city expect more support and from provincial. However, this budget release is a provincial decision. And then as a city councillor, I looking forward to any opportunity we could have to work collaboratively with different order of government.
Okay, all right. I like your very political answer there. It's provincial territory, and you look forward to collaborating. That's sweet. What are you expecting back from the snow removal and face masking surveys? What are you expecting Edmontonians to tell you about the way, what we want about face masking and snow removal in Edmonton?
I think both of issue, like when you talk about the snow removal, when you talk about face masking service, and two issues are very hot topics. And then until we get the survey results, and we will know what expectation from our Edmontonians. And right now, the survey is still available and until March 7th. And then we will see the results from that. But I can share with you, and during the email, phone calls my office received, just to speak to my office, my own office, and most people, and this is most of the people, and say we would like to align with what the public policy already announced by provincial governments. And then I know there's this is like various these mixed viewpoints, and then we will see, and until March, I think March 8th, and the council will have a special meeting, and on March 8th, back to that, on that time, we will receive the reports from administration to demonstrate what our Edmontonians want, and based on the results of survey.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What gives you hope, Councillor Rice?
So what gives me my hope? You mean the hope for what? So
your work as a councillor is busy.
Yes.
And other than that, you get to carry the burdens of Edmontonians, not only from your ward, but across the entire city. And people are looking onto you. They're looking onto your platform of accountability to speak for them. It's important that Councillor Rice has hope. Can you talk to us about the hope you have for the city, for yourself, your family, for the future? What gives you hope?
What gives me, I think, if I understand your question properly, and then my biggest source of hope is saying the participation of my constituents,
all right,
in the political process, and also care for our city and care for our community. I can give you very example, just recently my example, and then there are many grade 6 students and contact my office and to voice their concerns regarding community development, regarding snow removal, regarding other issues, and from their own eye. And so then my office reached out and then organized the event, Ask Your Councillor session. Through the session, I engaged with students and asked answered so many questions. You can see the passion, you can see the caring, and from our younger generation and about our communities. And then you can see that hope and from their face and their eye. And then specifically they ask so many questions, how we can say provide our services, programs, and to support our Edmontonians, to support our communities. And then I think that is the hope, and we can say, and for our future and for our city's future as well.
That's beautiful, Councillor. Thank you. I know as a councillor, your background is so many books, and you read all these reports from the city like on a nightly basis. I'm just wondering, do you get time to read leisurely, or your nighttime reading is all the reports you have to sift through? If you do get time to read, what sort of books might Councillor Rice enjoy reading?
So thank you for that. Ask this question. I love reading, and then I read lots of books. Like you said, that due to the busy schedule right now, I didn't have much time as usual, and because I need to read like thousands pages of report and to make decisions, to debate in the chamber. But I still try to get some time to read some books, because that is so important, and for the individual, not only for Councillor Rice. And then I believe that is the time for me and to take back to look at myself, how I can, and by reading those type of books, to understand our society, to support our community better. So I still read lots of books as well.
Okay. Councillor Rice, we could stay here for another hour, but you're only available for a short period of time. And that time for me now is up. So I must let you go. Otherwise, next time I invite you to a media chat, you say no, because I don't keep to time. And I don't want that to happen. So I want to say thank you so much for your generosity and for making the time. It's a Saturday night. Many people, they go somewhere and they drink and they go watch films, but you were here doing constituency work, doing a media chat about what's important, which is politics. I'd like to say a big thank you for your time tonight.
You are very, very calm, and anytime you feel free to reach out to me. And because I do believe like this type of chat, and then to give me opportunity to understand and what's the media thinking, and also to give me opportunity to connect with the community, and then to know better about our community needs. Because my job, I believe, and is to use my time, my knowledge, and to understand the community needs better, and to make the decision to best benefit the majority of our Edmontonians. And so communication, open communication is so important. And anytime, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer your questions.